Now what's kind of cool is I was having trouble finding the address for this. A lot of people had requested that I go here, but I had looked and I really couldn't find the address. And what ended up happening was I ended up finding like a travel blog, and I read through it and somehow I completely missed that the address was in there. So somebody else sent it to me. And what was interesting about that travel blog is the person said that they were traveling through Europe and that they contacted ZSA Gabor's office in Los Angeles and asked if they could come by to look at her house. And they not only said yes, they said, we will put you in touch with ZSA's cousin and he'll give you a personal tour. I didn't have enough time to contact that guy or find him or anything, but I thought that was a great story. Now I'm talking about one lady, but she actually had two other sisters, and one of them was also extremely famous, although not really famous here in Hungary, even though this is where she's from, because she was on Green Acres, which was a hit show. But Green Acres, when I guess Hungary tried to buy the rights to show it here, they wanted too much money, so it was never shown here at that time. We're going to the house of Magda, Ava, and ZSA Gabor. Well, we're pretty close. I think we're only a block away. That's a little shoe. This is right next door to her house. Well, gang, here it is. This is the Gabor house. Now, what's interesting about their family is that her father was a soldier. Her mother actually was an heiress to a jewelry fortune, and that's where they got all their money. So ZSA was actually quoted as saying that they had 4 servants living here and that she or her mother never ever had went into the kitchen. In fact, she would later say in her life, I didn't go in the kitchen when I was a kid. Why would I go in there as an adult? She always had really great, like, witty sayings, but she was born in 1917 and lived in this house. And then in her early teens, she went off to boarding school, was eventually found as a singer, was asked to sing for a famous composer, and this was her house. Now, when she eventually went to the United States with her mother, she, because her parents had actually divorced, Ava was already there with her husband, and ZSA went and would go on to marry 9 different men. Well, she said she had 8 husbands and 9 marriages. I mean, that's hilarious, but her second one was actually to Conrad Hilton, and she had 1 daughter who I quasi knew. She used to come to the Comedy Store all the time. Her name was Francesca. But ZSA was married numerous times, had numerous affairs. She was linked to Sean Connery, Frank Sinatra. I mean, you name it, she was linked to him, and what a fantastic career she had. Like I said, she was just, people would hire her constantly for TV shows and things like that because she was really good off the cuff and very witty. You know, what a great lineage. I wish they had something to her, but like I said, I thought that was pretty cool that when the people contacted her office, they said, not only can you go by the house and we'll tell you where it is, but you can meet our ZSA's cousin, Josef, who is actually in film production or television production here. Now, what's kind of sad, or what's kind of interesting, I guess, is that ZSA always wanted to return here, and in fact, she wanted to take a trip here in her later years, but her daughter didn't want her to because her daughter was afraid with her health and everything that ZSA wouldn't come back. She would just decide to stay over here, and even though I know it says online that she was buried in Westwood Memorial Cemetery, what else I read online was that her request was that she wanted her ashes to be brought to Budapest. So as far as I know, her ashes are actually in Budapest. And I don't know exactly where the if this was all her house, because there's a business off here to the side down there, and then one off to the side down here as well. But she said this was a massive house, and it was like I said, the family had a great fortune. So there you go, friends. Those of you who wanted to see ZSA Gabor's house in Budapest, this is it. This nice lady just invited me in. She said the house is 150 years old. So nice. Wow. It looks like it's more of an apartment building now. I don't know, let's just take a gander. Thought that was so cool. The lady actually saw me and standing outside, and I said, this was ZSA Gabor's house. She said, oh, I don't know. I said, no, I looked it up, it is. Isn't that something? Her courtyard. It looks like for the most part this is all now separate. Alright, I don't assume anybody's gonna invite me into their house or into their place of living, so this was it. Interesting. I don't know, maybe the family has sold it now, I don't know. And if you doubt it, there's the address, 97 Andrassy. I wonder if it's possible, see there's the address and everything, I wonder if it's possible that after her death and after they all died, maybe the family sold this building. I don't know. The Gabor front steps. Well, I'll tell you, that's what's great about being a vlogger, man. I'll tell you. Getting to document stuff like that when people go out of their way for you. I had mentioned on the Facebook page last night that I was gonna go up and knock on that door because it's like 9:30 a.m. right now. I was gonna go knock on that door and see if they'd let me in or give me a tour or anything. And it certainly looks like they've converted it now to apartments or businesses, a little bit of both. But as I'm walking up and down the street, I can definitely tell that was all one house that has now been kind of divided up. It was just tons of rooms and everything. And I had said when I got there I was gonna knock on that door and see if somebody let me in, and then I didn't even have to. Somebody was actually coming out, saw me, and let me in. Invited me in fact, asked if I wanted to come in. Now look at this beautiful place, that's one of her neighbor's houses.
I was sitting stinking like a good dog, drinking in the lap of my farmer after all day working. Sedated, I work all day today. Oh, waking, my head is aching. Loving pink sky, thank God I'm plowing. Ease my pain, I work so well done now.